Test 1 2 1 2. Test 1 2. This is for the attorneys at Renatus for compliance. Pick a number between 1 and 10. Got it? Now double that number. We're gonna do some simple math. Double that number. Add 6 to that number. Now half that number. Subtract your original number. Got it? Count of 2, say your number. 1, 2, 3. If you did that accurately, you came to the number 3. It's a simple math equation, but so are cells. My name is Woody Woodward. I'm the founder of the Drive Cell System. And today I want to show you how to stack the cells odds in your favor. Two friends went for a drive. One of them, Walter and Arthur. Walter got out of the car, showed this vast land, said, you know what, Arthur, I'm going to build my dream right here. I want you to buy all the surrounding land. In that moment, Arthur thought, are you crazy? Like, why would I buy this land? There's nothing out here. We're miles from a freeway. But Walter kept persisting. Oh, you don't understand. It's going to be amazing. It's going to be beautiful. You need to buy the surrounding land. Arthur, being a good friend as he was, kept giving excuse after excuse. Money's a little tight. I don't know if my wife's going to be into this. I don't think I can do it right now. Well, 1 year later, Walt Disney opened up Disneyland, and Art Linkletter, his best friend, was the master of ceremonies. So why did Art not see the vision? Whose fault was it? Was it Walt's or Art's for not seeing the vision? I believe it was Walt's fault. Yes, from a personal responsibility, it's Art's fault. But in sales, it comes down to the way we present. Walt did not present to one of Art's buying languages that he could interpret, say, oh, I see the vision. I see what you mean. I need to jump in and be involved. Ironically, the Fujisai family out of Japan saw Walt's vision, invested $2,500 in 56 acres surrounding Disneyland. In 1999, they sold it back to the Disney Corporation for just under $100 million. So what drives buying behavior? I've created a system. I've written over 42 books. I've interviewed 2,500 people, and my websites have interviewed tens of thousands of people to identify what drives buying behavior. And I've created this very simple drive system. What I want you to do is read each card first, the D, the R, the I, the V, the E. Read those cards first, then read them a second time and rank those drive cards based on the card that has the most amount of words on it that makes you feel important. Now, what makes you feel important is different than what's important to you. So for example, family can be important to you, but family may not make you feel important. Work can be important to you, but work may not make you feel important. So as you read these cards, put them in order, 1 through 5, 1 being the highest, of which card makes you feel on top of the world, connected to your purpose, to who you really are. Now, if you ever get stuck between two of them, then what I would have you do is just ask yourself, which one could you not live without? You don't have to give up anything, but which one could you not live without? Subconsciously, your mind will say, oh, this is the one that makes me feel the most important. So go ahead and pause this for 2 minutes, whatever you need to do to go through this exercise and write it down on a piece of paper, the D, the R, the I, the V, and the E. Now that you have that, if you chose the D, which is the green card, that is for directors. Go ahead and write that down. Directors are motivated by lifestyle. These are their buying motivators. They want to enhance lifestyle. They want a clear vision of financial and time freedom, and they want that VIP experience. If you chose the R, R is for relators. Relators are motivated by community. Their buying motivators they want to consult with others. So if they're going to buy a product or a service, they want to know what their social community thinks of that product or service. They look for a family influence, and they enjoy products that give back. If you chose the I, that is the yellow card, I is for intellectuals. They are about the detailed back office, the iOS system, like how does this work? They want step-by-step actions to succeed, and they're going to buy a product or a service that's going to enhance their intelligence and their expertise. If you chose the V, which is the dark blue card, they are about validation, validators. They give admiration to others. They're the cheerleader of the group, if you will. They're the 4 a.m. friend, the person who will always be there, always has your back. They want, when buying a product, the attention and focus. How is this product going to make them look better? Highlight their accomplishments It's about their team. It's about helping other people. And if you chose the E, the dark gray one, that is executive. They're buying motivators. They want proof that it works. They want third-party testimonials, and they're focused on the big picture. So a quick snapshot is directors are motivated by lifestyle. Relators are motivated by community. Intellectuals are motivated by systems. Validators are motivated by admiration. And executives are motivated by proof. So let's take this in the real world. So if you're like me, you're an entrepreneur or in sales, and you love the Shark Tank because you get to see people come in there and make their dreams come true. I want to show you the Shark Tank and how drive applies to them. So Robert, he's a director. He's all about his cars, his mansion, his airplane, his lifestyle. Now, directors aren't about money per se. It's about their lifestyle, however they define it. Now, he lives a much higher life than most people, so his lifestyle is different than probably yours or mine. So he's all about lifestyle. He was on Dancing with the Stars. He ended up marrying his dancing partner from Dancing with the Stars. Lori, she's the community-driven one. A lot of times when you watch the show, she won't invest in a product. She'll actually invest in the individual. That's the community. Damon John, he's an intellectual. He's about systems. On the show, he'll say, who's your manufacturer? Is it patented? What's your distribution? He wants to know the system. Mark Cuban, he's the validator. He's all about everyone in the team and cheering people on. He wants them to succeed. Even if they don't get a contract in the tank, he'll still wish them well. And Kevin O'Leary, Mr. Wonderful, he's all about the proof. He's show me the money. A lot of times he'll say, you know, if your numbers aren't right, you're dead to me. So he's very driven about the proof. So once again, directors want lifestyle, relators want community, intellectuals want systems, validators want to be admired, and executives want proof. Let me introduce you to the 20-80 rule. In business, I'm sure you've heard of the 80-20 rule. I'm going to flip it on its head. We lose 80% of our sales based on our drive. So back to Walt Disney, he's a director. It's all about lifestyle. If you've ever been to Disneyland or Disney World or Epcot, he built the entire park around lifestyle. They got Tomorrowland, Main Street USA, Frontierland. He wants everyone to experience all that life has. Well, when he was sharing with Art Linkletter, Art was a validator. He had his own TV show, radio show, Kids Say the Darndest Things. He didn't care about real estate or how it was going to help him. It didn't connect with him at all. So the 20-80 rule, so often we only speak our language. We're alienating the other four. So whether you're a relator, an intellectual, a validator, or an executive, when you speak only your language, you accidentally offend all the others. Let's take that into the Sharks again, that 20-80 rule. Robert has been pitched 511 times. That is no small amount, but he's only been closed 11%. Now in business, the way I always talk about, put your money where your mouth is, I did some additional research to see where did they put their largest investment? Did it support their drive? And it did. His largest investment was $5 million into Zero Pollution Motors for 50% of its business. Zero Pollution Motors is like a smart car, one of those really tiny, tiny smart cars, but it runs on compressed air. So being a director in lifestyle, he wanted to create a new lifestyle with a car that ran on compressed air. Looking at Lori, she's been pitched 311 times, but has only been closed 20%. Her largest investment was $600,000 into Ruffle Butts. Ruffle Butts is a kids clothing line. So you think about, kids are our future. She's going to invest in a future type business. It's going to be all community driven, all about kids. Damon John has only been closed 15% of the time out of 407 pitches. He has 3 investments, all at $500,000. This one was in Hells Bells Helmets for a 50% stake of the business. Now think about government DOT type approval. What type of logistics, creating a helmet to protect the brain on a motorcycle, you want an intellectual in charge of that. His other 2 $500,000 are all high manufactured type systemized businesses. Then you got Mr. Cuban here. He's been pitched 443 times. Now I put this in green. He's been pitched second to the least amount of times, but he's actually done the most amount of deals. Why? I think because as a validator, he wants to validate other people and their mission and their passion. His largest investment was $2 million into 1031 Productions. Now, I didn't know what 1031 Productions was, and I had to Google it to figure it out. It's a party company. So Mr. Life of the Party wanted to be in the party, so he bought a party company. I thought it was hysterical. You got Mr. Wonderful here. He has been pitched, Kevin O'Leary, the most at 531 pitches. I put it in red because he's done the least amount of deals. Why? As an executive, he needs the most proof. But true to form, his largest investment was $2.5 million into Zips. Zips is the company that owns the patent for individual wine glasses. You know, that little glass that has the film that you peel off the top. When you think about the most profitable industry in the world, it has got to be liquor and spirits. So being an executive and proof, that is where he put his money. So the Drive sales system is all about speaking the 5 buying language to potentially increase your sales by 400%. Now, I can't guarantee that, no one can, but you understand what I'm saying here. The 20-80 rule is you speak one language, alienating those other 4. When you learn to speak those other 4, you increase the potential communication by 400%. Has anyone ever closed all the sharks at once? Yes, but it took 5 seasons and it was on episode 2. Charles Michael Yin. He was seeking $250,000 for a 10% stake in his business. Now, I'll be honest, his business, Breathometer, isn't a very sexy product. It's just a simple product. You plug it into your phone, you blow into it, tells you whether or not you're intoxicated, whether or not you can drive. And that makes sense. Great product for a lot of people, but not something super fascinating. However, all the sharks started getting interested and asking questions. As they did, what Michael did that was genius is he started to answer their questions based off their drive. Now, he didn't know drive, he was just doing it subconsciously, but here was the outcome. He originally asked for $250,000. He left the tank with $1 million, a 400% increase because he spoke their language. Now, he did this without knowing drive. Imagine what you could do if you knew drive. Instead of that 20-80 rule violating the other 4, you speak the right language with the right benefit, that will equal the sell. What is at the root of all sales? Do you remember the 1990s, the Drew Carey show? He had 9 seasons, 233 episodes, which in the movie space is a lot. In the last 100 years, I think there's only been 47 TV shows that have ever had 9 seasons or more. Simultaneously, he was also doing another show called Whose Line Is It Anyway? The comedy sketch show, also having 9 seasons. At the end, gave a net worth of $165 million when he retired. Not too shabby. Well, one day he got a call from his producer. And they said, you know, Drew, we want you to go and interview at CBS for The Price is Right. And Drew said, are you kidding me? That's an old man show. I don't want to do The Price is Right. No way am I doing that. He hangs up the phone, not going to do it. A couple months go by. His manager calls him up and says, you know what? We really need you to go in and just talk to them. Now, this is Hollywood and everything's based on relationships. He's like, all right, fine. I'll go in. I'll talk. He's sitting down with the producer of the show and, you know, arms are folded. You've seen the body language, heads down, like, yeah, whatever. I'm just here to, you know, do what I need to get out of here. And finally, at the very end, the producer asked, Drew, what do you love to do? And he sat there for a second. He said, you know, I love to give big tips. The producer then said, on The Price is Right, you get to give big tips every single day. He had this instant reassociation that all of a sudden he can give away cars and campers and trips around the world, and it's not his money, but he's able to do that and fulfill his drive. So behavior will not change until a reassociation occurs. So look at Drew, he had originally had an association that this is an old man show. But when that executive producer asked the question, what do you love to do? He shifted his mind. He created a reassociation. Drew said, big tips. I love to give big tips. Then the executive producer said, on The Price is Right, you get to give big tips every day. That was a shift in his mindset. When it comes down to marketing your business, your products, or your services, all marketing is a reassociation. You're trying to relabel an idea that somebody has in their brain to your product, your service, or your message. Think about this one. Diamonds are a girl's best friend. The whole song, Marilyn Monroe, the movie. Another one is a diamond is forever. These were all ads made by the De Beers company to create a reassociation. Even the how much you should spend on an engagement ring, 2 months salary, that was also an ad by De Beers. So their whole reassociation was, if you love someone enough, get a diamond, it's a girl's best friend, and it lasts forever. Oh, and by the way, you should probably spend 2 months salary on it. That's where our associations come from. In the 80s, where's the beef? Wendy's did this ad. It increased their revenue by a whopping 31% simply by creating a reassociation. The breakfast of champions. If you've ever eaten Wheaties, you know that is not the breakfast of champion. There's not a champion on the planet who eats that stuff for breakfast. That's just compressed sawdust with sugar on top. This stuff's nasty. M&M's, melt in your mouth, not in your hand. That's a simple reassociation. So when you're talking about your business, talking about sales, talking about drive, what's in it for me? I want you to think of your customers for a second. When they're hearing your message, your ideas, your concepts, they want to know what's in it for them. And remember, the sell will not happen until a reassociation occurs. So you have got to create a reassociation or you're never going to get the sell. You get compensated in direct proportion to the problems you solve in business and in sales. Look at Michael Jordan for a second. He was Rookie of the Year. He played in he was Rookie of the Year, 6 times Finals MVP, 9 times All Defensive, 11-time All NBA, 14 All-Star, played in 1,078 games, scored 32,292 points, 6 champion rings, and his 15-year career earnings only made $90 million. Now I say only, I know $90 million is a lot of money, but in all that success, he only made $90 million. In 2019, Nike paid him $134 million in royalties alone in 1 year. Why? His Air Jordan brand makes up 10% of all Nike sales at $3.2 billion. So he's making a percentage of $3.2 billion of sales. You look at his career earnings, he made $90 million, but his corporate sponsors, $1.7 billion. Meaning he has solved problems for these corporations to the tune of $1.7 billion. Look at Sarah Blakely. She invented Spanx starting with only $5,000, but she has sold over 20 million pairs, making her a billionaire. Once again, you look at your business, you look at your compensation, you make your money based off the problems that you solve. What problems do your products and services solve? Just think about that for a second. I'm going to go into deeper drive and how your products can tie to the drive. I just want to pause. I want you to think, what problems do your products solve, or what problems does your services solve? Let's look at the drive again. When you look at the individual drives, so for directors, they're motivated by lifestyle. So their challenges or their problems are, they don't feel free and independent to have that lifestyle that they want. They're not pursuing their life's purpose the way that they want to. They're not experiencing the life the way that they want. Let's look at a relator. Their challenges are tied to community. They feel insecure in their relationships. They don't have the influence that they want, or they're exhausted from giving too much. So if you're a relator, you can relate to this because you're always giving to your community. An intellectual, they're motivated by systems. So their challenges are going to be tied to not being able to find the information that they need for that system. They have paralysis by analysis, meaning they overthink their scenarios or situations or their systems, and then they don't make a decision because they don't have a clear, defined direction on where to go. They're not feeling organized, so they feel frustrated they can't decide what to do next. A validator, they're motivated by being admired and admiration. So their challenges is when their teams, the group of people they love, they're not trusting, respecting, or acknowledging them. So they're exhausted from serving their teams. They feel disrespected from the people they care about, not feeling recognized for their contribution. So executives, they want proof. So their challenge comes from when they don't have that proof. It makes them not feel in control. They don't feel like they're winning in their life, their business, or their relationships. They feel overwhelmed from having too many goals. They're super ambitious. So does your product, your service, or your message help any of these 5 personalities? When I was writing my newest book, Drive Sales book, I had the opportunity to interview a gentleman named Ron Klein. He's the inventor of the magnetic strip on the back of a credit card. This guy also invented the MLS system for real estate agents. Phenomenal individual. And his drive, by the way, was an executive. He said, Woody, I don't sell ideas, I sell benefits. And that really hit me. I thought, okay, so many times we sell ideas, but it really ties down to benefits, but also how those benefits tie to an individual drive. So when you're selling a director, does your product's benefits or your services benefits, does it help them, does it have a wow factor? Is it visually stimulating? Does it help them feel more engaged? Does it help them experience life, to solve problems, to overcome challenges? Because that's what's motivating a director. When you're selling to a relator, does your product support their community? Does it connect them with their loved ones? Will it make them look like a leader in their community? When you're selling to an intellectual, do you have a clear step-by-step instructions? Does it save them time or money? Meaning, does your product or service help them save time or money? Does it make their life easier? When you're selling to a validator, does your product make their client look like a rock star? Is it going to help them serve other people? Will it bring them positive attention from the people they serve? Does it help them serve their teams? And for executives, when you're selling to an executive, does your product or service give your client more control? Does it help them win? Does it help them? Does it help make their goals easier to achieve? If you can do that, what you're doing is you're tying the drive, and we all know we're motivated by our drive, plus the benefits of your product to solve their problems. That's what equals the sale. I'm going to show you how to create custom ads based on drive. I call this niches to riches. One of the best companies I've ever seen do it is Nature Made. You've seen the vitamin company Nature Made. They have these little ads they put on, those 15-second ads in the front of YouTube videos, but they target specifically to each individual drive. So this ad is targeted towards executives. Individuals lose sleep each night, costing them $315,000 of lost wages over their lifetime. Get sleep, get melatonin. Well, let's be honest, melatonin's for everybody. Each individual drive needs melatonin. But niches to riches means you pick your product, whatever product you have, you look at the benefits of that product and tie it to an individual drive, thus increasing your sales. A multi-day vitamin. Once again, everyone needs it, but this one they target towards intellectuals. It has the USP verified dietary product supplement seal. They've got a pharmacist talking about it. It's pharmacist recommended. It's making them feel very safe, giving them all the information they need to buy the right product. Prenatal vitamin. Once again, if you're a female and you are pregnant, it doesn't matter what your drive is, you need a prenatal vitamin. But this ad is targeted specifically to relators and validators. It's the secret reveal party, their community, groups of people loving on them, celebrating their success of this new baby. What has it done for them? Destroyed their sales numbers. They're just killing it right now. They're the #1 supplement company in the world with over $1 billion in sales. I want you to think of the golden rule. Do unto others the way you would want to be done unto. That is totally selfish. That means I'm going to share with you and talk to you based off what makes me feel important, not what makes you feel important. I prefer the platinum rule. Do unto others the way they would want to be done unto. So the golden rule is selfish. The platinum rule is selfless. It allows you to sell and serve them based on their drive and not yours. Today's economic situation is very interesting. You know, we're going through a lot of crazy things right now. It reminds me of a story from 1995. A young gentleman, his name is Jeff, was working in D.R. Shaw in New York as a stock analyst, looking at all the information that was coming in and where the internet was going, and it was projected that the internet was compounding at 2,300% per year. I mean, that's a staggering number. No matter what you did today, 2,300% later in the future, it's gonna be so different. So he said, you know what, I need to quit my job. He's making $250,000 a year back then, a lot of money. And he gets in his car with his wife, they travel across the country. And he's trying to figure out, how do I create a business model, a business plan around all this change? And he asked one question that I think, in all honesty, is probably the most important question you can ask in your own business. Jeff Bezos asked, what is not going to change? As he was creating Amazon, that question changed his entire business model. He started with 2,500 products, then he went down to 1,200 to 500 to 100 to 50 to 25 to 5 to 1. Came up with one product to launch his business, and that was books. Books were not going to change, haven't changed in 400 years. Now the ebook reader, he actually invented that, the Kindle. So he shifted what wasn't going to change. He's now one of the wealthiest people in the world, creating massive value for people around the world. So he asked, what is not going to change? When you look at your life and your business right now, we've had a lot of things happen and it will continue to happen because it's just the economy that we're in. Whether it was the dot-com bomb of 1999, the housing market crash of 2008, or COVID in 2020. It doesn't matter. Things are going to happen. But what's not going to change? That's what inspired us to come up with the Profits Course. The Profits Course is 9 courses about individual things that will never change in business, but that every business needs to be more profitable. So we put together this course. I want to give you an opportunity to be part of this course because, like me, it has changed my business and my projection of where I'm going in my career. And I want to offer the same thing to you. So what's not going to change? Our first class is about the champion life with Ron Williams. Now, Ron Williams is no small guy. This is 7-time Mr. Universe, 7-time Mr. World, 7-time Mr. Olympian of natural bodybuilding. He is one of the most decorated natural bodybuilders in history. He's going to teach you about your mind, your body, how they connect to your business, how your energy levels connect to you being successful. That's never going to change. Another thing that's not going to change is business automation. Eric Counts is an incredible individual who has mastered business automation, from emails to text to autoresponders. So think about how much you make per year. Take whatever your salary is, divide that by 2,000. That's how many hours, work hours are in a year. It's going to give you a certain number. So let's say hypothetically you make $100,000 a year, divide that by 2,000, it's $50 an hour. How many hours are wasted? I mean, how much money are you losing every year with emails and things that can be automated? That's what his class does. Another thing that's not going to change is integrated business strategies. Mark Kohler is a best-selling author. He's a CPA and an attorney. Don't you want someone like that on your team? Someone who knows the laws and also knows the accounting side of things? He's going to teach you about integrated business. Our fourth class, another thing that's not going to change, is social selling. Rob Sperry is one of the best in the world at social selling, online marketing, selling through different social media platforms. He started from scratch. He now has a huge worldwide following. He's done paid ads and free ads. In this class, you're going to learn how to save money, starting with free organic marketing and working up to how to do paid ads if you so choose. Another thing that's not going to change is media mastery. Troy Dunn is also a best-selling author. He's an individual who has been on every major show, from the Oprah Show to Larry King Live, networks for the last 30 years he's been on. He's going to teach you how to get your message, your product, whatever you want to take to the masses. He's going to teach you all about media mastery. Another thing that won't change is business baking. This is our 6th class with Christian George. Christian George is a lifelong entrepreneur, has owned multiple businesses, has mastered velocity banking on how you can pay down debt, how you can find additional resources to fund your projects and your company. Another thing that's not going to change is my class. It's all about personal development, using your drive to connect to your personal development. And I believe, I've been an entrepreneur for 30 years, and I know that you can't make any more money past what your mind thinks you can. We all have a glass ceiling. So tap into your drive in your personal development, which takes us to the 8th class, which is Drive for Communications. Your way you communicate with your employees, your customers, from your PowerPoints to your social media posts to how are you showing up? How do you create specific ads to address all the individual drives? And the last course, number 9, is Drive for Sales. This whole course is all about driving sales and driving on the 5 personalities. Now, each of these classes are roughly about 6 hours long. So you have over 54 to 60 hours of different techniques to build your business. All these classes combined are easily be worth $27,000. But in the current economic situation, we knew that it wouldn't be appropriate to charge $27,000. If you were to pay a consultant to come in, it'd be 2 to 3 times that. But we decided, why don't we take all these and not charge $27,000? But what if we were to record these classes so someone could have access anytime, anywhere, day or night? And for that, we did it for only $29.97, meaning you're gonna get all 7 experts 9 classes for only $2,700 or $2,997. If you take an average employee, makes what, $54,000 a year, that's about 1 month's worth of salary is nothing. You're getting true experts who can revolutionize your business. Now, if you don't want to pay the upfront one-time payment of $29.97, you can do 18 months of payments, do a simple down payment of $600, and make a monthly payment of $174.83. Now, I don't want to sound disrespectful to the economy and what's going on, but let's be honest, $174 is nothing. That's a cell phone bill. That's absolutely nothing for the amount of value you're getting to be able to change your business. Now, at this point, there's going to be a different interest level for each person. Meaning, if you're at a level 3 of interest, you may realize, you know what, this isn't for me. We respect that. We wish you the best, and we don't want to pressure you in any way. Thank you for coming. We leave as friends, no problem. But if you're at a level 2 interest, meaning, you know what, Woody, you've really piqued my interest. I see how Drive can influence my business. I see how I can change my ads, can change my sales. More importantly, how I connect with my customers and my employees, but I still have some questions. That's a level 2, no problem. We'd love to invite you to come back to a follow-up meeting one-on-one with one of us who can simply answer any questions that you might have. Then you can make a more calculated, more educated decision. But if you're like most of us where, man, you saw the information, you saw the power the Drive could be for you, the Profits course, you thought, man, I am in, let's go. Number 1 is you're ready to go right now. You choose whether you want to do the cash or credit card at $29.97, or you can do the 18-month billing, which ends up being total $37.47. Get back with the person who invited you to this event, talk to them, and let's get you started. Excited to see you guys succeed and have fun. Do good, be good. Thank you for your time. Have a great time. All right, that's the whole pitch. It's probably about 32 minutes. So thank you very much for listening. If you have any questions, I am here to answer them. Thank you.